I cannot stress how professional and dedicated Iron Maiden were.
And there's more, actually. All the machines to pay were working despite the electricity problem, and I understand what people are kind of like side-eyeing that shit. So I think it's really adding fuel to the fire.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I was invited to the Iron Maiden show in Paris and I wanted to tell you about that because something crazy happened. The electricity was cut during the show, so we were kind of like, huh? Getting there was honestly exhausting because of the heat. It is insane. It was about 38 degrees. And we never have weathers like that. La Défense Arena is very impressive because I think it can hold about 40,000 people. And I would say that with how small Iron Maiden's stage was, it looked a bit short in the arena, but I mean, that's the game you play. One thing I was very impressed with, it was my first time seeing Iron Maiden live. I know some of their songs because they are, such legends. Like, it's the type of bands you know a song for sure. But I didn't know too many of them. I didn't know how to sing the lyrics and stuff like that. But I was absolutely impressed by how communicative their energy was to the crowd, and immediately the energy picked up in the venue. Even though there was AC in the venue, keep in mind that it's intense to get there because of the heat. And I knew, I had been to Hellfest the day before. I just gotten back with the train in the morning. I had to do some stuff for work during the day, so I was exhausted. And I honestly, I was like, am I gonna survive this? I'm dramatic, I know, but their energy made it so worth it and nice, and I had a lot of fun. I was very impressed by their showmanship. One thing that I love is they really take the time to play their songs, and even the instruments solos. Some of them are very long, some instrumental parts in their songs are very long. And I think they can afford to do that because this is what their crowd loves. But I just feel, songs have been getting shorter and shorter, a little less in the rock and metal landscape, but it's still a trend, I feel. And I personally really love long songs, and I really liked how they take the time to play their songs, One thing you have to know about this show, it was that it was a bit special. Iron Maiden planned on filming some footage for their concert DVD, I believe, and I think they were supposed to film the whole show. So they asked that people don't use their phones, and the people in the pit actually had to put their phones in a special case. People who were not in the pits, people sitting just like I was, we did not have any obligation regarding that. I mean, they were asking us not to film. Some people filmed some stuff. I took a few footage when the show stopped because of the electricity. When they came back on stage, I took a little video of that. But yeah, I saw quite a few people who did not respect that, and that pissed me off because I was like, hey guys, I'm respecting it. When I respect a rule, I want other people to respect it too. But yeah. So we have about 30-40 minutes of concert. By this time, I looked around and I saw okay, I'm gonna try not to cry while saying this, but I looked around me and I saw a lot of men who were around the age of my dad, and I was I realized I have been invited to an Iron Maiden show, and I think my dad would find this very cool. And then I just got very emotional because I was doing something that, made me feel connected to my father He passed away in 2023, by the way. And I was exhausted after Hellfest. And when I'm very tired, it's like the times when I'm more emotional about him and missing him. So yeah, I was like, I don't know, I felt very good, like doing something I know he would find cool. And that made the experience very emotional for me. There was a man not too far from me. He looked around the age of my dad. He looked in way better shape than my dad. He had so much energy, more than my dad had. He wouldn't be like that at shows, but he was enjoying himself so much, and I was like, it made me really nostalgic and emotional, you know? So what I did by this time was like, I can't stay here. I didn't have enough tissue, so I was starting to, be completely wet in my face and stuff. And I was like, so I went to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom, I cry about 10 minutes. And then I come back in the venue and the band is not playing anymore. I'm like, what is happening? They were playing 2 minutes to midnight while I was in the bathroom. And during the song, the electricity basically cut. So when I got back into the venue, it was dark. We still had like some lights, but it was dark. So for a few minutes, I didn't understand what was happening because I didn't know like it cut during the middle of a song. So I was like, maybe they're, I don't know, taking a break. Maybe this is part of the show. But no, the electricity died. So then La Défense Arena made an announcement and they said that there had been a power shortage in the street. And they were trying to do everything they could to get it back. So the thing is, like, over time, we got some lights back. We saw that the screens were getting back, the screens behind the band. But the band, came back honestly almost an hour after, because between the time that I came back into the venue and the time they started playing, there were around 55 minutes. I honestly did not leave because first of all, I was invited, so it was important to me to stay till the end of the show, which I don't always do because I'm very anxious in crowds. So sometimes I leave the show 5 minutes earlier to avoid the crowd in the subway and stuff. But as the time was going and going, for me it was okay because I was in a sitting area and I was allowed to have my phone, but not everyone had this privilege. And honestly, I was very sorry for the people who were in the pit especially the people in the front, because they've been waiting a lot and they've done a lot of effort to be at the front for the show, but they were just stuck, mushed together without the AC because it died because of the power shortage, and they didn't have their phones because of the rules they had set for this show. I really salute their dedication and the fact they have stayed, because honestly, it could have happened that we'd have a wave of people leaving and most people would have left. A lot of people actually left during this time. And honestly, I was wondering, is the band going to come back? After 30-40 minutes, honestly, I had lost hope. But the band came back. When they came back, they talked to us. They said that there was a little problem with electricity and they apologized because they came back around 10 to 11, and the curfew of the venue was 11:30. And this is important because I understand that this fact was very annoying for the band and for us who wanted to see the band play all their songs, but they couldn't because of all the delay due to the power shortage. But with where the venue is located, if we don't have transports, people are just going to be stuck in an area where you can't walk back home. I don't live too far from the venue. It's about 30 minutes with transport. I think it would have been 3 hours walking. Okay, I exaggerated. 2 hours walking. But keep in mind, I don't live too far. If for anyone who doesn't live there, Like, it would be hours and hours. And I chatted with some people while, we were waiting for the show to get back on. And I had some people tell me they had friends who, like, took the plane from other countries to be here. And damn, that must have been very disappointing. Because the thing is, this show was supposed to be special. Like, oh my god. It's still unclear what happened with this power shortage because the venue said while we were there that it was in the whole street. When I went on social media, I saw quite a few people say that this actually isn't true. And I'm gonna read you the official statement they posted on their Instagram. I'm gonna put it on the screen, but it's in French. I'm going to translate it. In a context of heatwave vigilance in Ile-de-France, a power shortage happened yesterday night during the Iron Maiden concert, which affected the electric power in La Défense Arena. The first elements of our investigation lead us to believe that this phenomenon was external to the venue and it caused a succession of technical dysfunctions. The investigation is still ongoing with all the stakeholders taking part in the incident. The team of Paris La Défense Arena, of our technical provider Dalkia and Enedis, it's like an electricity company in France, are still working on understanding the exact chain of events that caused this interruption. Right now, no definitive conclusion can be drawn on the exact cause of the incident. Along with the analysis taking place, some additional measures are already studied in order to guarantee the security of the power of the venue for future events. In the first minutes, all of the security procedures were immediately activated in order to ensure the protection of the public, the artist, and the team present on the site. Making the show last longer than the agreed upon time wasn't up to the decision of Paris La Défense Arena nor the artist. The time of the end of the show is planned with the public authorities in order to guarantee that all of the people are going to go back in the best conditions with public transports. We salute Iron Maiden for their energy and the quality of the show despite the circumstances. We sincerely apologize to the spectators for any trouble caused. We understand the disappointment that this caused and we thank the public for its patience along this night. That's interesting, isn't it? Because I'm wondering, this kind of is a big deal. This is a major deal because it's not just a show. This was a show where Iron Maiden were supposed to film footage for their film. And in order to ensure the quality of this footage, they asked people not to film the show. And the people in the pit could not have their phones. We are at a certain level of demand for the crowd, especially the crowd in the pit. And this happening any other day would have been a huge deal, but here it's a huge, huge deal. And I'm pretty sure the venue is panicking hardcore right now because I don't know if Iron Maiden could sue them or what, but some people lost money somewhere, probably Iron Maiden, because they must have hired a team to film the footage, and I don't know if they will be able to use the footage of the night because they had I think about 3 songs of their encore could not have been played. So yeah, big deal. At 11:30, Iron Maiden did not leave the stage with music. Like, the singer talked to us in French and he apologized and he said that they had to stop now because of the curfew and they didn't want that, but they had to respect that. And he joked that he prefers Bercy, which is another concert hall in Paris, and yeah. So that was absolutely insane.
Hey, so I'm here to add a few things that I missed in my video. Actually, I forgot to take screenshots of La Défense Arena's stories. I hope I can find them again, and if I do, I will put them on the screen. Otherwise, I will put on the screen right now the statement that Iron Maiden issued. Honestly, it really looks like they're not very happy with what happened, which is perfectly understandable. And there's more actually, because I didn't have this information at the moment, but as the power shortage happened, some people got out of the venue to smoke, to breathe, and that's when they actually saw that other buildings around us actually had electricity. So I think it's really adding fuel to the fire. I found a petition from people who were at the show to get a compensation from La Défense Arena, and honestly, I understand why people are actually very, very mad. In the petition, people are saying that La Défense Arena told us the electricity was cut in the whole street, but it actually wasn't true, and they never corrected this, which is making people quite mad. Something that also honestly doesn't look good for the people who were in front of the stage and who couldn't really move. They gave them some water bottles, but otherwise most people had if they wanted water and for example they didn't have bottles yet, they had to go buy some, and all the machines to pay were working despite the electricity problem. And I understand what people are kind of side-eyeing that shit, because it's really giving money first, And also something that was annoying is after 40 minutes they told us the show is going to resume in 2 minutes, but we still waited 20 minutes after that. So it's just overall, the technicians of the venue honestly did an amazing job because they got everything back together, and I can only imagine how stressful and intense this must have been. But the communication of the venue is not taking too much responsibility for now. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the fact that they don't want to get responsible and pay the band for this, but it doesn't really look good. And so yeah, last songs were cut. I got out right when the show ended, so I didn't really suffer from the crazy crowd, but in the petition people are also mentioning the lack of organization. So yeah, people are complaining to get compensated, which I understand.
And again, I cannot stress how professional and dedicated Iron Maiden were, because I swear that when they came back on stage, they put the energy right back on in the venue, which isn't an easy feat because by this time people are tired. They are super hot because no AC anymore. I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't have water. So honestly, they put me right back into the passion of the show, and that's insane. So this definitely made me gain even more respect for Iron Maiden. I am very curious as to what is gonna come out of this story. Did you ever go to a show where something like that happened? What would you have done? Would you have left the venue? That was a simple little video because I wanted to talk about my experience at this show. My Hellfest vlog and my interviews of festival goers are going to come out in a few days, so stay tuned for that. If you're interested in content on metal, alt, and rock music, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna go put some ice on my body because I'm so hot for right now, my hair is sticking to my neck. Iron Maiden were absolutely amazing and professional, and shout out to all the technicians who put the power back on. Y'all have my respect. Bye.